The words slammed into me like a physical blow to the solar plexus. I think the baby should have Ethan's name. Sarah's voice, soft, deliberate, cleaved through the stillness of the kitchen. The only sound before that had been the low electrical hum of the refrigerator. Her eyes, usually full of warmth, avoided mine, slipping downward toward the tiled floor. My hand trembled around the coffee mug. The heat against my skin mocked the cold wave of adrenaline rising through my veins, the kind that tightens your chest and dulls your fingertips. Ethan. Her ex. The man she'd once sworn was ancient history. My wife, 7 months pregnant with what I thought was our child, had just triggered something tectonic in me, a rupture that split the ground beneath everything we'd built. The air smelled faintly of burnt toast and the lavender candle she lit every morning, her ritual, her comfort. I placed the mug on the counter. The clink echoed too loud, like a fracture forming. "What did you just say?" My voice barely escaped me, thin and frayed, as my amygdala fired confusion and disbelief into my bloodstream. I wanted her to take it back, to laugh it off as fatigue. But she didn't. Her shoulders tensed, arms circling her belly in an unconscious act of protection, as if bracing the child from what was about to break. I think it would mean a lot to him," she murmured, her tone careful, as though walking barefoot across glass. "Ethan's been through a lot. He's been there for me, for us, more than you know." Those last words pierced straight through my chest. More than you know. What did that mean? My thoughts began firing in chaotic bursts, scenes flashing, fragments of nights I'd dismissed, her late-night phone calls, the faint smile when Ethan's name appeared on her screen, the way she lingered by the door when he stopped by. "Sarah," I forced a laugh, brittle, wrong. "This is our child. Ours, not his." My pulse quickened, cortisol flooding through me, setting every muscle on edge. I wanted to shake the truth out of her, but seeing her, fragile, carrying life, kept me still. Love and suspicion collided, chemical warfare under my ribs. Was she joking? Hormonal? Or was this something darker, something I'd been too blind to register? She exhaled, a sound weighted with something that felt like guilt, maybe exhaustion. "I know it sounds strange, Jake," she said quietly. "But Ethan's been a friend. He's helped me through things." Her voice fractured. She turned to the sink, scrubbing at an invisible stain. The rhythm of the dripping faucet synced with my pounding pulse. I thought back to the past year, the late shifts, the weekends away, the slow erosion of her laughter. I'd blamed it on pregnancy stress, on the transition to parenthood. But now, every memory rewired itself, each moment became evidence. "Helped you how?" I asked, stepping forward. The cold linoleum grounded me, but the morning light fractured through the window, scattering across dust motes like static. She didn't answer. She just kept scrubbing. My heart thudded so hard I could feel it in my fingertips, that primal thump of dread. "What are you hiding, Sarah?" Ethan's name. The deleted messages. The tension in her smile. Every neuron screamed at once. "Sarah," I said, my tone sharpening, cutting through the fog. "Look at me." She turned slowly, her eyes glassy, her lips pressed together as if holding in something corrosive. "Why his name? Why now?" I hated the crack in my own voice, the desperation, the trembling of someone realizing they might already be too late. Silence stretched between us, heavy enough to feel like a presence. "He's been there when I needed someone," she whispered, almost lost under the dripping faucet. "When you were working late, when I was scared, about the baby, about us." Ethan listened. each word carved deeper. My body reacted before my mind did, chest tightening, breath shortening. I'd spent nights at the office chasing stability for us, never realizing what my absence was creating in her. Had I driven her to him? Or was this betrayal by choice? I sank into the chair, the wood groaning under my weight. "What are you saying, Sarah?" My voice trembled between fear and fury. Images flashed, her and Ethan, their whispers, his hands maybe where mine used to be. I wanted to scream, to demand truth, but fear pinned me still. What if the baby wasn't mine? The thought burned like acid through every nerve. She moved toward me, reaching out, but instinct recoiled. My body moved before thought. I pulled back. Her eyes glistened. "Jake, it's not what you think," she said. "I love you. I do. But Ethan, he's part of my past. He's helped me process things. I owe him. Owe him." The words detonated. What did she owe? And why did that debt involve our child's name? Process what? I demanded, standing now, adrenaline surging, the air too dense to breathe. She hesitated. That silence said everything. My eyes drifted to the ultrasound photos on the fridge, symbols of a dream that suddenly felt counterfeit. Finally, she exhaled. "Last year, when I lost the first pregnancy, I didn't tell you everything." My heart stuttered. "What do you mean?" Her voice broke. "Ethan was there. You were away at that conference, and I couldn't reach you. He held me when I couldn't stop crying." Each word struck like a hammer. A miscarriage I never knew about. A secret buried. A man filling the space I should have occupied. I wanted to ache for her pain, but rage consumed the empathy before it could form. "You went to him instead of me?" My tone was shredded, barely human. "And now you want our baby to carry his name?" Her tears finally fell, silent, unbroken lines. "It's not about him, Jake. It's about honoring what got me through." But to me, it sounded like denial wrapped in guilt. I stepped back. The lavender candle flickered weakly, its flame shrinking like the last pulse of something dying. And then she said it. The words that detonated everything we were. "I don't know if the baby's yours." The world slowed. My body registered shock before my mind could. The air left the room. Even the faucet seemed to stop mid-drip. I just stood there, staring at the woman I loved, realizing I didn't recognize her at all. My knees almost gave, but I held on to the counter, grounding myself against the freefall. Everything was exposed now, raw, merciless truth bleeding into the open. And yet, in the ruins of it all, one thought pulsed painfully clear: I still loved her. Even as the world fell apart, that love refused to die. But love isn't enough, not against this kind of fracture. I grabbed my keys, my voice nearly a whisper. "I need time." As I walked out, the door slammed shut, echoing like a gunshot through the hollowed-out quiet. And in that echo, I couldn't tell if I'd just left my wife, or the lie we'd both been living.